You also want to make sure that you thread lock these 4 screws right here. Hey guys, welcome back to Revolution XRC. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday break, and welcome to the first part of my RC 4-wheel drive Gelande II D90 Build Series. In this first part of the series, we are going over the axles and the links. Now for this part of the series, you'll need the axle bag, you'll need your D90 standard hardware bag, and you'll also need the G2 metal parts bag F. And later on, I will take out the parts as we need them for each of the steps. For step 1 of the front axles, you'll need these following parts, and you'll need 2 M3x8 flathead or countersunk screws. And you'll be able to find the screws because they come packaged in label bags like this. And make sure that you get the truss with the offset link mount right there. Just before moving on with this step, I am also going to take a look inside these axles and make sure everything's greased up just fine. You also want to know that the kit does come with oil, grease, and thread lock. I highly suggest you use thread lock on the screws where the metal goes into metal. I've got some axial thread lock as well. I'll just use this because I don't want to open this one just yet. But just make sure you use thread lock. Alright, so as you can see, with the diff open up, there is a good amount of grease, so that works out pretty well. But it is a good opportunity to thread lock these screws over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and when I'm finished with it, we'll go ahead and start putting together step 1. You also want to make sure that you thread lock these 4 screws right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, here I've got the rear axle opened up. You can see that it's nicely greased as well. Make sure you go ahead and thread lock these 4 screws right here. They were pretty loose when I took these screws out, so thread lock these and screw them back in. You'll also want to thread lock these 2 screws right here and these 2 screws right here. And this is for the rear axle. And after you're done with that, go ahead and thread lock the screws for the third member. Alright, with getting all the thread lock out of the way with this third member and also the screws inside that hold the diff cover, we can go ahead and start with step 1. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take this. And that completes step 1. For step 2, you'll need the front axle, what we just built in step 1, as well as 4 3x8 button head screws. that completes step 2. And that's about it for the front axle. We'll go ahead and move on to the rear axle. For step 3, on the rear axle, you'll need these following parts, and you'll need these 2 M3x10 countersunk screws. And that completes step 3. For step 4, also on the rear axle, you'll need this truss right here and these 2 M3x16 button head screws. And that completes step 4. For step 5, you'll need these following parts. You'll need one 59mm link, two 65.3mm links, and four 73mm links. And each one of these links will have an indicator for what length they are on the end. You also need these 4 bent rod ends and these 4 M3x10 set screws. And you'll need these 10 long rod ends as well as 10 M3x15 set screws. Alright, that completes step 5. For step 6, you'll need the following parts. You'll need this 104.5mm link up here. You'll need these two 70mm links right here. You'll need 4 more of these short rod ends, 2 of these offset angled rod ends, and despite what the manual says 2 of these, but you'll need 6 of these M3x10 set screws. Alright, and that completes step 6. Alright, and that pretty much does it for this first part of this D90 build series. We've completed adding some of the parts to the front and rear axles, as well as thread locked the screws that we needed to, and we've also put together the links. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future updates on this RC4WD Gelande II D90 build series. Thanks for watching.